this is going to work for our live audience. Great. So for those watching, welcome to this live stream of Webinars for You. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the Managing Director of Webinars for You, and the idea is to basically have a little live stream, see how this will work and can interact with a live audience. So I'm giving this a little trial. I'll present to you a little bit more about Webinars for You. Of course, do ask any questions. I can take them live, but also this will be kept on the page, so you can always comment later, of course. All right. So basically, just a little intro. What is this meant for? Well, as you can see in this, this is about Webinars for You. We are a company in Barcelona, and I take care of webinar production to universities primarily, and also helping them to promote, that is, to recruit students. That can be for universities worldwide. And additionally, we create virtual events. So that's there's something new. I will present to you that in a second. As we do primarily webinars, live webinars, and on-demand webinars. Those are pre-recorded webinars, and there are some great benefits to those. Besides that, we have created a new virtual lounge. So this virtual lounge basically is meant as entry level for students, the go-to place for students where they can browse around things and instead of a interactive webinar. So this can work as a substitute for fairs that are canceled a lot in this different weird year as we are in 2020. But also instead of agents or portals that you might work with. So how is this thought about? Well, basically, we can help you through the stages from creating the audience, where we do the lead generation. I'll explain the marketing in a minute, towards creating awareness, especially with this virtual lounge, and then going through the steps of informing and making them interesting, and then apply, obviously. So that's where we help. We have worked with over 300 universities worldwide, so probably one in your country as well. I'm pretty sure, especially in Europe, every country we've worked with, and also towards Hong Kong, US, Latin America, just to name some. Now, how does it work? Well, first of all, this new service, Virtual Lounge, is the name. So we decided not to call it Virtual Fair, but it is a little bit what it is. But the difference being that it's not for that you're not sharing it with other universities. So it's not a fair as in the traditional name. It's a lounge where students can enter, and we prepare it with you with all the information that you want to transmit. So the students can go in and explore this by themselves. So you don't necessarily have to be there. They can watch videos, go through a presentation, click on chapters. They can ask questions. So yes, that is possible. Those questions are sent by email to you. As mentioned, you don't necessarily have to be there. If you do prefer to be there at a certain time, that is possible. So we can have a live chat enabled. What else? The students can download brochures, videos, directly apply with you, all these things. So we have basically created some templates, some virtual templates. But the nice thing, really, to be honest, and what we have done so far with all the universities that signed up already in the last couple of months, is to make it a personal virtual lounge. So we use the actual pictures of the building and of the auditorium, of your hall, of the actual campus, and of your buildings of the university. It doesn't have to be a nice one, as you can see on the screen on the right, of Trinity College in Dublin, a client of us. Of course, they have a great library, but this can be, of course, any other nice picture that you have, a template, and we can fill it in with the functionality that just is mentioned. So it's really personalized. They already get a glance of how it looks like to be in your auditorium or being in your university. So that is an entry level. We can integrate a webinar with this. That is possible. So basically, we can go in, and then at a certain time, there's maybe a live webinar. or it's also possible to have an on-demand, a pre-recorded webinar. So that is another option. Then we can also fill it in with your sources, links to your website, to your application page and such, and yeah, customize it completely to your needs. Now, of course, this is all great, but if you don't have an audience, it's still worthless. So you can invite the audience yourself. That is possible if you have a good database and a traffic going to your website or social media. But otherwise, we can help. So we can promote it through the general channels. We have a very large following in Facebook, for example, and in Instagram, over 230,000 students, but also on LinkedIn for professionals, blogging, some partners that help us as well. And then we go promote it out to them with the specific targeting of the students that you're looking for. So we actually have an IP geo-targeting functionality, and that is based on the specific countries that maybe you're looking for. So we can target those. Then students register. We ask a lot of questions. We feel the more questions one asks, then it qualifies better the students. You get a good idea if they have the right background, from the right country, if they're really eligible to apply. And we even check that with a quality call. Yes, we call the students for you. So you don't have to do that. We help you to convert them to apply. Good. Now, I can talk much more about this, but I want to make it brief just to finish it off, because this is a whole promotional roadmap. Something new, just to highlight here, is the lead nurturing, the last step, where we are now going through certain lead touches. So when somebody registers, we keep them warm up until the webinar, or when they have watched the recording after the webinar, with more information about the program, for example, and then even how to apply. So we can really follow that up. And that actually ties nice into the virtual lounge. It's not necessary, but a virtual lounge is a perfect place where we can build them up towards the webinar, and after the webinar, the student can check out the slide deck, for example, or browse it through other information, or download it. Good. Now, what else is there? We use a specific platform. No, we don't use Zoom. We don't use WebEx, not any of the other webinar platforms. We use a really unique streaming platform, and this has really some great benefits. First of all, this technology is similar to like YouTube, where you just stream it directly with a link. You don't have to install anything. And the recording is great. So you can really adapt the recording and personalize and customize it. And that, for example, including chapters, and do that as well. So this is mentioned here. It's mobile friendly. So if you're joining the webinar or the virtual lounge from your mobile, you don't have to install anything. Again, with all the other webinar platforms you do, and we think that is annoying for students. Because if they want to join one webinar from you, why would they want to install an app on their phone? It probably turns them off. Not with us. So that is why we use this premium streaming platform. The recording benefits I mentioned, chapters, but even if they're watching a recording, they can interact. How, you may ask? Well, they can actually ask questions written, and it sends an email to you. So you get pretty much instantaneously an email with their question. The reporting is really great as well. You see a lot of data. Now the pricing, that depends, of course, what you're looking for. Now, a quick something to mention: the virtual lounge actually starts at 199 euros. So I want to have mentioned that, because that way you know that we have a very low price point, and we can completely personalize the virtual lounge for you. It starts at only 199. It should not be a showstopper, and then we can build it up as depending on your needs. You want a webinar or promotions, depending on target audience. So we can talk about that. So let us know your requirements. If you want to know more, just get in touch. We will go through the whole process. We have done it hundreds of times, well, thousands actually, probably even. So you're in good hands. And I hope this was informative for you to get an idea how we can recruit students using webinars and the new virtual lounge. So we have worked with a lot of customers also in your country. I'll be glad to share some of the case studies with you. Also on our YouTube and Facebook page, you will soon find client testimonials. So do check it out. And of course, on our portal, the site www.webinars4you.com, and you can see actual client examples. Good. Now let's check if there's any question from the audience so far. Not yet. I'll double check that. And okay, yeah, there's a question that came in. So Peter is asking about the qualification of the students. Yeah, so I quickly touched on this. How do we qualify the students? So we actually use the registration page, first of all, to really filter the students, to make sure that we ask a lot of questions where we can basically know their background, if their English is good enough, whatever you want to know that's important for your study program, we ask that. So yes, it might turn off some students to actually apply to register because we ask a lot of information, but we feel that it's improving the quality. Now, second of all, as briefly mentioned, we check that as well by calling all the students. So we are personally checking, getting in touch with these students. And on the phone, we can see if their English is good enough. We can see, if they are eligible, if they are willing to move, if they possibly have the financial capability to do that. So those are ways we can check and make sure that we provide quality leads. We know that that's the most important thing about marketing, not the volume, but yeah, as they say, not the quantity, but the quality. So that's why we are doing that. And we do this through also this, what we call the IPGLG process. And that is the IP-based geolocation lead generation process. So we can target specifically on the IP address, as our portal knows who is coming there or not, and we can choose whether that webinar is visible to somebody from, say, India or Latin America or Russia or not. So it depends on what you want, we show it or not. Just an insight in this, it is a bit like Netflix and our on-demand webinars as well. Like the Netflix decides what you see. So is it with us, with Webinars4you. We decide what you want to show to which target audience. And it's on demand as well. So we have the option for that too. Good. Thank you, Peter, for that question. I hope that helps. Let's see if we have another question in. Yes, there is a question coming from the YouTube channel. Good. Let's see. We have a question from Amanda. Amanda is asking about case studies. Yeah, so briefly touched on this. We do have case studies. We have worked with a lot of universities, as mentioned, over 300 already examples from recent examples, but also you can find a link on client testimonials on the services page. So check it out. And we are actually working on some live video client testimonials, so they're coming soon. Okay, with that, would like to conclude for now, because this will be on demand available. Do write your questions. We will check it in the next days, and we will get back to you. And otherwise, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It was useful. And if not, you spent some lousy minutes wasting with me, but I hope that doesn't ruin your day. All joking aside, appreciate your time. Hope you're well. Take care.